Good afternoon. We are going to continue working on chapter two. First thing we're going to start out with is I ask you to get this sheet called Terms and Acronyms. And hopefully you were able to get it and print it out. Basically, this is a good place for you to keep notes. Okay. Some of this could be considered in chapter one, some not. But what I'm looking for here is for you to, especially for the first test, which is chapters one, two, and three. I don't like this. Single page, single page. There we go. Chapters one, chapter two, and chapter three. It's a good place to make notes. Now, chapter one, a lot of this stuff is not in the book, but I think as a computer science person, you should know a lot of these things. Like, what does CPU stand for?
Computer processing unit.
Central processing unit. Central processing unit. Yeah. These
Oops.
are going way back to the beginning. What's WYSIWYG? It's a good
What
one.
you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get. Yeah, and some of these you're just going to have to know this is a binary digit. That means either a 0 or 1. 0 representing false, 1 representing true. Everything is the light bulb is either off, false, 0, or it's on, 1. Okay? Binary digit.
Sorry, excuse me. Can you slow down a bit? I'm having problems trying to like type this in into Microsoft Word.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to do all of these. You're going to find most of them on your own. You're going to find most of them. Yeah. Here's a good one. What is ASCII? That's every key on your keyboard, like a lowercase j, has a number assigned to it. An uppercase K has a number assigned to it. And this is the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Wonder why there's an asterisk beside that one. Ian, take a guess. Why is there an asterisk beside that one?
It's in the
No.
quiz.
Bet it's on the test. Yeah, I bet it's on the test. Do you know any? Oh, I bet this one's on the test. One of the original computer languages is BASIC. BASIC stands for beginners, all purpose, symbolic instruction code. Like this was a generic language. The two that preceded COBOL and Fortran, COBOL was written to do business operations. Didn't need a lot of the other stuff. Fortran was written for engineers. Didn't need like a lot of the business type of things. Does anybody know some of these other ones?
Yeah, I know a few.
Go ahead.
RAM, random access memory, CRT, cathode ray tube,
Random
ROM, read-only
access
memory,
memory.
LAN, local area network,
Okay, slow down.
URL, universal resource
Local
locator.
area network. Yeah. So go through and check these out. Later down the road, FIFO and LIFO become important. CPS 162, we do a lot with this. Last in, first out. I need you to fill this out. I need you to be ready on the test for what some of these might be. You already know two of them that are going to be on the test. Ooh, what is a byte?
8 bits.
Bits.
8 bits. 8 bits. 8 is 2 to the third power. Everything you're going to see in here comes down to base 2. All right. Base 2 is a 0 or 1. Huh. Kilobyte.
1,000 bytes. Bits.
No, it's actually 1024 bytes.
All
The
right.
reason it's 1024 is if I come down to this bottom line, 2 to the 10th power is 1024. So if you ever go to trivia, and I almost got in a fight with the trivia caller when he said, how many bytes is a kilobyte? And he accepted the answer 1,000. I'm like, no, sir, that's not correct. It just keeps going by this 2 to the 10th power. Megabyte, 1,024 kilobytes. Gigabyte, 1,024 megabytes. What's the next one?
Terabyte.
Terabyte. We're now by, I can remember when megabyte was like the big term. A megabyte of memory. Yeah, that's right. And again, 1,024 gigabytes. It keeps going up by 2. That's a lot of light bulbs. A byte is 8 light bulbs. A kilobyte would be 1,024 times 8 light bulbs. It's either on or off. In this class, we talk about 3 types of errors. A syntax. You type in public and forget the U. That's a syntax error. Logic error. You're asked to find the sum of 3 numbers and you do x plus y minus z, all divided by 3. Yeah, that's a logic error. A runtime error. Something like if you try to divide by 0 or something called an infinite loop. You watch the videos for chapter 2. Sound about right? Yeah. And a lot of this stuff, source code, bytecode, hopefully you printed this out and while you were watching the video, you were able to put some of this information in. So where do we stand today? Right, so you're going to keep putting stuff in here, just a nice little notebook for you as you go through. I will answer any questions you have when they arise. Okay, let's keep going. We're on a roll. Next thing, I'm going to come into here and view with a view to a kill. No, so from just quick back 2.1 to 2.6, you watch the video, and how many of these 6 can you get right? How many of those can you get right? I'm going to pause the video. For number 1, this becomes 1 plus 2 plus, that's integer division. That's 1. That equals 4. That almost looks like we're trying to find the average, but no, we end up with the number 4. Order of operations, it does this division. This is an integer, this is an integer, it gives me just 1. I add these together. So now I have 2/3. Integer division by integer division gives me a 0. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, divided by a decimal, 2.0. Yes, I need the 0.0 in there because it will be a double. Now I want to go back and check. 4, oh, not 2/3. Jack, you see why it's not 2/3? It's doing the integer division. And you see why this is not 2. It would be 2.0. So we're tweaking our math a little bit. What comes instinctively, we now have to start thinking about computer world. We have to start thinking about integers, 1 and 2, and we have to start thinking about doubles. This percent sign stands for modulus. That's the remainder. That's the remainder. How many times does 3 go into 0? None, with a remainder of 0. If I divided 3 into 0, it goes 0 times with a remainder of 0. If I divide 3 into 3, if I divided 3 into 3, it goes 1 time with the remainder of 0. If I divided 5 into 3, it goes 1 time with a remainder of 2. So modulus is remainder. Modulus stands for remainder. Questions? Okay, that was something that was in the videos, and I wanted to help reiterate that. All right, let's move down here to the end of the page. And what we have from 2.1 to 2.6, we're going to see if we can do a short program. I want a program that if I'm given the hours worked and the wage, I can figure out the pay. And if I know how much I get paid, I can subtract out my taxes. And I think, yeah, let's write some code for that. So I have written down the work, which isn't too bad. Just simple more. This is sort of like an algorithm that can be written. But I'm now going to share JGraphs. And I'm going to get ready to type. First thing I'm going to do is Control L. So here we are. Let's get in here. Control L. That should turn line number on. Why? Oh, I apologize. File, new, Java. And a lot of you are already up and running. You did the debugging exercise, so you had to tweak some things. You did that initial program. But if I'm just going to type, somebody tell me what I should type first. What's at the beginning of the program? I'm going to go down 3 lines. I know up here, documentation. This program calculates pay. All right, give me something to type. What's that very first line you type over and over and over?
Public class and the name of the class.
Public class, and let's call this demo 1. So if I get ready and save this, I have to save it as demo 1. Notice public and class are purple. Semicolon at the end of this line, yes or no? Well, we'll find out in a minute when we
No.
compile it. Okay.
No.
Nope. No. All right. What's next?
Opening bracket
Open brace.
Yeah, an open
or
brace,
brace.
and I quickly go do a closed brace. Now, I used to call them squiggly brackets, but after having blind students, they couldn't find that when they would touch a key and it would announce it. So they struggled to find a left brace. Now they understand what I had to retrain myself instead of saying squiggly bracket. Okay, what's next? There's another line that goes here.
Public static void main parentheses string arguments opening bracket closing bracket like end parenthesis and then open brace.
And then if I type a left brace, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to type a right brace. So that you keep doing over and over and over. It's almost like you should have this as your startup, like a blank file, And then first thing you do is put this in so you don't have to keep typing it. File, save as crazy dog. I'm going to save it in my downloads. That's my dumping ground, my downloads. And I have to call it demo one. Up here, it's called demo one. We're all good. They have to match. So if I compile this and run it, little red running man, no errors, no errors, no errors. I got an error. I'm the typer.
It's missing args.
Where's args
Right,
go?
right.
Right
After
the
string.
After string.
Right after the word string?
No, on the
What
other
the
side
heck?
of the brackets.
Turn on
There you go.
ARGS. All right. Is that it?
No, that
After
won't
the
work.
brackets.
It's gotta go. It's gotta go after.
Brackets, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to be doing a lot of group work, and when you're working in groups, I'm going to have one person is the typer, one person is the talker, one person is the textbook, has that available, and then all three have to be typing. That way you can get the problem done. Upload it to the discussion board,
No.
and everybody can get a copy of it. Is that correct? I'm just
No.
going to keep it compiled. I think I'm
Really?
good. Yeah. All right. So our programs are going to have, first thing is a declaration section. Next thing, traditionally, you're going to have some sort of input, followed by some sort of processing. Yeah, I misspell stuff. Finally, some sort of output. Uh-oh. And I don't know how to spell processing. All right, my variable declaration. Well, let's see. If I come in here, I needed a double, and I was calculating pay. So we're going to start with pay. I needed to know my hours. I needed to know my rate, and I needed to know my taxes. What's the tax percent? How about this? Tax PERCENT. Now I just typed that a certain way. What is that tax percent? What the way I typed that, you can tell that it's two words.
Camel
What is?
casing.
Yeah, it's called camel case. Shooby-dooby-dooby-dooby. Oh, shooby-dooby-dooby. I can make notes out here. Camel case. Usually we start the first word lowercase, but any new words we'll hit with that camel case idea. Okay, so I'm getting ready to calculate the pay, but first I need to give values to hours. How many hours did we work? You can make something up.
24.
20.
2.
2 hours. We didn't work very hard. What is our pay rate?
25 cents per hour.
$25 an hour.
That's cents.
So one of the things that's going to have to happen is we're going to type these crazy things in, and then we have to make sure the math is right. So okay, well, let's do tax percent equals 19%, 0.19. And again, I'm quick to compile. Everything's still good. All right, let's see. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say my pay. So my value gets assigned to the left. All the work is on the right. So my pay is going to be however many hours there is times the rate. Then next week, we're going to learn how the user will input these values. Right now, we're hard coding them into this program. Again, eventually, you will ask the user, please enter the number of hours, etc. So I calculated the pay. Now I need to calculate what the tax is, and that's going to be my pay times tax percent. Will this program compile?
No,
No, why not?
you didn't put in a tax as any of the variables.
Right, I need to come back up here to my variable list and spell double and include tax. Doesn't know if it's an integer, a boolean. In the video, you should have learned about the 4 primitive data types. Well, if there's my pay, what is it called when you have your pay and then you subtract your taxes? It's called,
Your net income?
yeah, net pay equals pay minus tax. And again, I have another variable to declare. So I'm going to come up here, net pay. Oh, please compile, please compile, please compile. And it does. We'll save that real quick. So I have all of my input. I have my processing, whatever that word is, processing. Now I have my output. Well, you know how to do output, right? System dot out dot println. Here is your pay. Oh, I'm even going to put a $sign in there. So whatever I put inside of this string literal will get displayed. So the word,
Quick question.
Word.
Shouldn't that, sorry, quick question. Shouldn't that S be capitalized or am I wrong?
no, I'm the typer. Now I want to put the pay here. So what do I put next to this?
Plus,
Yep,
pay,
plus,
plus.
yeah, pay. Well, I don't know that I have anything else I want to put in there yet.
Mm.
Actually, net pay.
Well, let's start with pay. And as we go, oh yeah, here's your net pay or gross pay. Back when I started, every line of code was on a card. I had to have a punch card. One line of code was a punch card. Talk about not being able to edit like it is today. Here is what you will pay in taxes. Space, oh, a $sign again. Shooby dooby doo. Plus tax. That's not a plus. Plus tax. And here is your net pay. And what do we call it? Net pay. Case sensitive. I have to make it exactly like it was in line 25, exactly like it was in line 12. So now I want to compile it. No errors. Are you kidding me? And run. Is it correct? Well, yeah, we did 20 hours at a rate of 25. So the pay is 500. Good. In my head, I can figure out what 19% of 500 is, and I'm pretty sure it's 95.45. Ta-da! How did we do this? I did a left brace and a right brace over and over and over and over. I broke my program up into where all of my variables are declared, some sort of input. Here was my processing, and here is my output. Do we feel comfortable with that? Down here in the console window is where everything was displayed. Cool? Okay. Come back to here. Calculate the roots of a quadratic equation. Oh boy, this is what you're going to work on in a minute. But before I turn you loose, I'm going to go, a quadratic equation is something like x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. And I want to find the roots. And the roots are, let's see, x plus 2, x plus 3 equals 0. X equals -2 is one root, and x equals -3 is another root. Ah. So I just made up some test data. What do you mean test data? Well, this guy is the generic ax squared plus bx plus c. So my test data, the first one I'm going to do is a equals 1, b equals 5, c equals 6. This was being talked about right at the end of the first video. So here's my input. My output should be something like root 1 equals -2, root 2 equals -3. You with me? Now, in the world of computer science, here are my 5 variables. I might need more, but in my declaration section, I'm going to have at least 5. I should probably make all of them double. So that's, here's my input. This is all going to be outputted. So now in my processing, what am I going to need to find the roots in processing? How do I find these roots when I'm not able to factor? It's the ever popular what?
Quadratic formula.
Yeah, -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. The first root is the plus, the second root is the minus. So I might want to find the discriminant first. That's that b squared minus 4ac. Because otherwise, this is going to be really long. So what's the discriminant? What is root 1? What is root 2? And how do these equations work in there in processing? Any questions? Now, when you go into a group is going to have, just like we did a moment ago, a typer. That was me. I'm just going to type. I don't need to do all the thinking part. Y'all are going to do all the thinking. So the second person is going to be the talker. Third person is going to be the textbook person. They're going to go, what is the blah, 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 blah? You may have to grab the textbook to look it up, or you may have to use the Google. You'll find some good things there to help you out. But everything we're doing is in the textbook. If you have a fourth person, they might be able to do both of these to help out. But everybody should have a role, and everybody should just be telling the typer what to type. There are no dictators. There are no freeloaders. Don't just sit there and turn your, that's another thing. It helps if you turn on your camera, because it's much easier to work and get to know people when you can actually see them. But like I said, don't be the person that sit there, their audio off, their camera off, and they never help out in the group. So questions. I'm going to put you in a group. When you do this program and you get it up and running, upload it onto the discussion board under chapter 2 and give yourself a hand. You're done till next Tuesday as far as meeting with me in class. You have other stuff to do.